child. Girl groups are a thing of the past. We had 2 major girl groups take an indefinite hiatus, and all members dropped solo releases. We thought some of them would be the breakout, as we call Beyoncé's of the group, but it doesn't seem as though it holds up too long. I just want to have a conversation with you guys to see what you guys think and see if I'm noticing a pattern here. Well, let's get into this conversation because this is Woo Chow. Woo child, thank you for picking up my call. I love calling y'all so much. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are enjoying this summer. I hope you guys are staying safe out this heat. Darling, when I tell you it is crazy out there, global warming is real. Really hope you know that. And speaking of global warming, I hope you guys are registered to vote. Okay? All right, my girls in America, just letting y'all know, we have a really big election coming up. I really hope you're registered to vote. I hope you get out there into those voting lines, and I mean vote, okay? All right, just letting y'all know, just putting that out there, just trying to be your big cousin, letting you know, hey baby, I need you to vote. Thanks. All right, now that I got that out the way, let's get into some girl group tea, okay? I also reacted to my girl Jade's new single and music video, Angel of My Dreams, that is also exclusively right now on Patreon. Jade's new song is out, Angel of My Dreams. Go support. Please go stream it up, go stream it up, go stream it up. But all these ex-girl group members dropping music kind of got me to thinking about some things, and it kind of got me noticing a pattern maybe. And I want to know if I'm tripping or not, but I want you to talk to me and we can have this conversation together, right? Let's start with Fifth Harmony. I feel like Fifth Harmony was the first girl group to really disband and went on an indefinite hiatus. And they even tried, after dropping one member, they tried to keep going, but it didn't work. Now, my Fifth Harmony stands out there, girl, bear with me, because we know we have a history. You know how I feel about Fifth Harmony. I didn't live. Fifth Harmony did nothing for me. Now, they got bops. Don't get me wrong. Because Lonely Night, on that album, when they was only 4 girls, Miss Lonely Night, a bop. Lonely Night is a bop. And then, of course, they have, Give It To Me, I'm Fish. Okay? Like, you know what I mean? Some people know what that is. If you know. If you've been with me for a long time, you know that reaction. But also, Give It To Me, I'm Worth It is the song I'm talking about. And of course, Work From Home. Like, come on now. And of course, what is it? Flex, Time to Invade. Like, girl, the girls got bops, okay? Like, we can never take away from Fifth Harmony. Now, the organization of Fifth Harmony, that's another thing, okay? Like, the performances, you could tell it wasn't a meshed group. You could tell they were kind of plucked together and put together and pushed out to the world. And then low-key tried to push Camila to the front, which we about to talk about her in 2 seconds too, good. Mm-hmm. You got my girl Normani, you got my girl Dinah Jane in there, honey. You got my girl Lauren. I love Lauren, bitch. Love Lauren. And of course, my queen Ally Brooke, who just announced that she's retiring from music. And that got my brain to tinkering more on this theory. Do girl groups really do well when they break up? Or is it kind of a one-way stop destination to flopping? I don't know. I brought up Fifth Harmony first because they're the first girl group to disband, right? And they try to make it work throughout Camila leaving and trying to continue doing their own thing with just 4 girls. And they seemed confident about it, but not confident about it at the same time. It was a very interesting time. It was 2017. I'll never forget it, girl. But I bring them up first because Camila jumped out the gate. And everybody thought Camila was going to be the Beyonce of the group as far as breaking out and being the big breakout star. And in some cases, she is. Let's talk about it, right? Now, I don't talk about Camila no more on this channel. The undertone racism of her and Normani and her previous post when she was younger, I don't get into it. And the gag is, I really liked Camila. Really lived for her. I thought she was very talented, but she still is. I'm sorry, not was. She is very talented. She is a very pretty girl. She can sing, she can songwrite, and I think she can put together a really nice bop, to be quite honest with you. But when she first jumped off the Fifth Harmony train and came out with Ain't No Crying in the Club, hey, hey, when the hey, a bop. A time. If I have to be honest, and I think I had a reaction to it if I'm not mistaken. And of course she had Havana, which is her big flagship song. And I mean by flagship, it's like her bad romance. It's like her single ladies, okay, Havana. And then she goes on to make Senorita. Then she goes on to, make other little bops in between that stick, Liar. Camila is definitely her own entity. She does not have to perform her Fifth Harmony songs. Like, Camila's probably the only girl out that group that does not have to get on stage and perform her Fifth Harmony songs. I'm sorry, but it's just the tea. Now, the brand of Camila is hired. It seems like she cosplays a lot. I couldn't tell you who the real Camila is. Remember, I always talk about Normani. I always say, do we know who Normani is? Do we know who Normani is? Well, Normani has an excuse to me, a little bit. Yeah, Normani has an excuse. Normani was the diversity hire. You know? Are we being honest? Are we gonna talk? Are we gonna talk? We gonna talk, bitch. Like, ooh, child. Normani was the diversity hire, unfortunately. And the result of that is her being in the background and just being the black girl, and we call on you when we need to say we have a black girl. We really never got the identity of Normani, and on a personal level, I feel like she never really had a chance to develop into Normani. And I felt like she was told what to do, even in her solo endeavors with Tell Me Where Your Love Lies or Sam Smith or, you know, any of the Calvin Harris records or Waves. And I felt like Normani has always been told who she is instead of her getting to tell the world who she is, or even her finding out who she is on her own because she was in a girl group that was manufacturally put together. You know what I mean? And then you got Lauren, which, that voice, stunning. Stunning. Lauren's one of the most, in my mind, one of the most rarest talents. Raspy, good, sultry voice that could do pop, R&B, Latin. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Beautiful girl, can perform, can dance, can give sex appeal, has the full package, hates the industry. I think she went independent, if I'm not mistaken, which I love that for her. My girl, Dinah Jane, which, let me tell you something. If I had to be honest, I thought Dinah Jane was going to be the breakout girl. I did. I thought Dinah Jane was going to be bigger than what she is today. And it's because sing, dance, gorgeous, and personality. She's bubbly. And, you know, and I learned that in Fifth Harmony. And I felt as though when she went solo, it seemed though people cared but didn't care enough. You know what I mean? And I don't know what that is. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but I know she did come out with a new single. I know she's on the beach and she's hip rolling. Go check out my girl Dinah Jane's new single if you would like, you know. So I'm happy for her. And then you have Ally Brooke, which once again, strong start when she came out. Because she came, what is her, My Lips Don't Lie, or something, with Tyga. Low key, you could really get to know me. And then she came out with a couple other bops like I can feel the fire, or I can hear the choir. My love's taking me. Yeah, bitch, that song was a bop, okay? Miss Ally Brooke was popping out the bops. But the brand of Ally Brooke didn't match the bop she was making. And I understand, and now to be honest, and I gotta be real because this is Wu Chow, the aesthetic of Ally Brooke and the music she was making just didn't go. And I feel bad for her though, because she that's a girl that really loves music. Not saying that the other girls didn't, they all love music, but Ally Brooke touches my heart differently than the other girls does, because Ally Brooke gave me, I really want my dreams to come true. Not saying the other girls didn't give that, but Ally Brooke in specific really gave that to me. And I just felt like the industry treated her so wrong. And on top of the industry, the fan base of Fifth Harmony did not care. Which brings us to my next point about splitting fans. Ooh, child. Splitting fans, yes. When these girl groups disband or go on indefinite hiatuses, what happens is, it's like a divorce. It's like when your parents divorce and you have to choose which house you're going to permanently stay at and which house you're going to visit on the weekends or on summer vacation. You know what I mean? Like, that's what happens when girl groups kind of disband. It was a little different back in the day when Beyonce was going solo, because I can hear people in the back on this call talking about, I see y'all in the comments, Zach, what about Beyonce? Now, that's not fair. Say that, because it's not fair. You can't bring up Beyonce and Destiny's Child in this. My titties look good in here. Because Beyonce came up in the era of girl groups where it was a main girl. You know what I mean? It was a main girl. It was right. Pussycat Dolls were right on the edge. I heard my Detroit accent come out. Dolls. Ooh, I'm so sorry. I heard the Detroit. I heard it. Pussycat Dolls. Oh, girl, I can't say. Girl, Detroit, that's how we talk. Cereal. That's how we talk in Detroit, girl. My Detroit people, you know how we talk. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get it out, but it ain't happening. Anywho, the Pussycat Dolls. Say that. We got one girl that we're gonna put in the front, and the rest of y'all are a company. Not saying that this one girl was better than the rest, but it was more marketable for this one girl, and y'all a company. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, just so nobody comments like, Zach, you're saying that these people didn't deserve. No, not at all. Everybody deserves. The marketing of the industry back then was a lot different. But was it a lot different? Because no shade, fast forward to Fifth Harmony, fast forward to Little Mix, fast forward to the City Girls. It was destined. It was destined. Now, the City Girls is a little different. Before I get on to Little Mix, the City Girls, the reason why I brought them up is because it's current. They just broke up earlier this year, even though we always knew it was coming. Carisha had to hold down the fort while JT was in jail, girl. And they're a duo. JT dropped her new album, her new solo album. Some of these songs on JT's album could be City Girl songs any day. People do outgrow each other. People's creativity does, surpass, you evolve. You're not supposed to be in the same predicament you were years ago. So I completely understand. But now that I listen to JT's work and I listen to Carisha's work on its own, and it's just like I said, it's just like divorce and splitting fans. You have to now choose where you want to go, and it's almost like y'all were better together. We can even bring up Chloe and Halle. If you would like, speaking of duos, they're not broken up. Chloe and Halle's going to come back. You know what I mean? Chloe and Halle is going to come back, and they're going to come back with a vengeance, but I can argue you and say they're almost better together than apart. I'm not saying that either duo is not good apart, because clearly Chloe has Have Mercy and Treat Me, and Chloe has a whole album. Y'all let that go. You let that slip through the cracks, but that's here, there. But I bring them up to say they never went on an indefinite hiatus, right? They never came out and said, we're never doing music again. If, in fact, they're both been teasing that, we're coming back. We coming back. We know what y'all like, because Ungodly Hour was one of the best albums of the 2020s, hands down, no debate. Deserved every Grammy nomination, deserved Grammy wins, but we won't talk about it. You know what I mean? And no shade. In Pieces I feel like I got to know Chloe more on her own. And I feel like I got to know Halle on her own and her endeavors with acting and movies and her two singles. And then, of course, the Little Mermaid soundtrack. I got to learn a lot about these girls. Those two girls, to me, Chloe and Halle, did the solo endeavor thing the best, to me, in my opinion. Of course, we love them together. And of course, they make bigger and better magic to me together. However, when they did separate and they made separate entities of things, I felt like I got to know those girls way more when they separated. Like, I love that. So now when they come back, because they didn't take an indefinite hiatus, it's going to eat. And mark my words, Chloe and Halle's album, when they come back together, is going to be on the charts for a very long time. And it's going to be Grammy nominated. And it might even win a Grammy this time around. And that's just me. I'm just putting that out there. I just see what I see. I'm just saying. So back to the girls that are in indefinite hiatus. We ain't seen them again. It's done. That chapter is closed. Like Little Mix, right? Ooh, child. So of course you got Jessie, which we don't even acknowledge for real, because like, is she really part of the group? No more. Girl, we paid her. The girls that paid her dust, but she came out with her, what is it, Bad Boys? I like a bad boy. I got my toes between the sheets. Yeah, Miss Girl. She came out and did her thing. People were interested. People wanted to know. She was the first parent to divorce. And she was the first split of the fans. My three girls, my Jade, my Leanne, my Perry, came together, pumped through, went on tour, did an album, a goodbye album at that, went on tour, made iconic moments, made iconic music, and then decided to disband. The splitting fans and the divorce analogy comes into play really for real with the Little Mix and Fifth Harmony girls for me, because they had a huge pop following. But see, what started to happen was each girl wanted to do different music. And that's when it becomes a little tricky, right? Leanne wanted to do a little bit more of a Afrobeat type R&B pop sound, right? Perry came out with a very, very poppy ballad type thing, which, mind you, all girls did things that match their style in the first place. It matches their vocal, it matches who they are individually, it matched the reintroduction they needed to make to the audience that they already had. Does that make sense? Anyway, right? Of course we love them for the pop music. But these girls have to now reintroduce themselves, and they have to see if Little Mix fans, the fans they already had, that came to the tours, that bought the albums, watched the music videos, can care about the stuff they're trying to make outside of that group. And then you have Jade that came out with her music recently. And Jade's music, to me, honestly, was the closest to Little Mix music. Not saying it's the exact same thing. I think Jade definitely evolved past Little Mix music, for sure. However, it is a taste of, and Perry did too a little bit. Leanne, to me, was the most rebel. And that's why, to me, Leanne's music, her first song, Don't Say Love, was so refreshing for me. Though I feel as though all three girls have reintroduced themselves very well, I feel like Leanne, I feel like Jade, and I feel like Perry have completely reintroduced themselves to the fan base. But here's the problem, right? They have a huge fan base that are used to a specific sound and a specific image of these girls. And they all do grow up, but I don't know if their fan bases care about each girl separately the same. And so now we have Jade as the most recent girl that came out with her music. And it looks like it's doing well. I think it's going to debut better than the rest of the girls did on the UK charts, which is amazing, and I hope it does because Jade deserves every piece of it. But my problem is this, so does Perry, so does Leanne. I noticed that the fans that they have cultivated throughout the years do not drive the same support when these girls break up as much as they say they would. Because here's the thing, they're used to one way already. They're used to one sound, one image, what it's supposed to be. Now I gotta deal with 3 new girls on my playlist that I gotta see which part of the fan base can adapt to a Perry song, which part of the fan base is gonna love the Leanne song, which one of the fan base is gonna love the Jade song. And the thing is, you could bring it down to race too, no shade. The black girls probably gonna do a little bit worse than the white girls. No, like, can we be honest? Ooh, child. Bring it back to Fifth Harmony. Normani had one of the biggest catapults out of the girl group. We were rooting for Normani, and we still are rooting for Normani. Let me not say we were. We are still rooting for Normani. But back then, Motivation was literally the biggest thing that put her on the map of a solo girl that any girl out of a girl group would have wanted. Any ex-girl group member would have wanted what Normani has. You know what I mean? With Motivation. That was one of the, oh my goodness. I don't think that would ever happen again. I don't think any of those girls can have that monumental moment again. I don't see any ex-girl group girl having that moment. Normani captured lightning in a bottle. She really, truly did. So now we look at like Normani's new album that just came out compared to Camila's album that just came out, and they both relatively doing the same numbers. Ooh. Now let's talk about it. Besides Camila's singles and the Drake songs, Camila's streams look just as much as Normani's streams per song on the album. And this is Normani's debut. I think Camila's had the longest running of it because she had the most head start, no shade. But even then, her gas has ran out because why? Like I said, splitting fans. Those fans that Camila has now captivated on her own outside of Fifth Harmony, because like I said, she's not the girl that needs to perform Fifth Harmony songs. I don't think Normani may still need to perform Fifth Harmony songs on stage. Maybe. But Camila's brand, she doesn't have an identity to me. One minute she's this, one minute she's that. Now she's trying to be, it's like she's trying to cosplay as somebody else. It just doesn't work, girl. It just doesn't work. The music sounds like you're ripping off a whole lot of other artists. And one in particular is Charlie XCX. It's like, we see it. It's just like, okay, you went somewhere else with this. Like the fan base you even captivated outside of Fifth Harmony, they don't know what to do with you no more. Because who are you? Girl, what is happening? One minute you're Senorita, now you're trying to be this rebel, like, bad girl, like, you know, I'm making whiskey pump music. Girl, shut up. No, you're not. Stop. Girl, I'm sorry. Give it all to Normani, please. Just give all the love to Normani at this point, because at least Normani, no shade, does know at least what she wants to do, which is be an R&B girl. But that's why I say the splitting fan theory is interesting, because it's a lot of variables that go into that. Race, timing of drops, the music choice, the music styling. Both of these groups were pop girl groups, and each girl is now making pop derivative music. Jade is making pop music in her own way, which I feel like Jade music is probably going to succeed a little bit better than her ex-members, just because Jade knows the audience. It seems like Jade is tapping right into the vein of what the Little Mix fan base used to be. Does that make sense? Ooh, child. Can girl groups break up and still be successful? I think they definitely can. I absolutely, definitely think you can. But the thing is this, you either can do what Jade is doing, which is tap into the original vein of what the music that you guys used to make as a group, that reminisce, that can still give that fan base what they need, so you can get as much of that fan base to come mess with you. Or you could be like Leanne or Perry, or you could be like Ally Brooke or Lauren, Dinah Jane or Normani, and tap into different sounds, different music that always represented who you were in the first place, but because you were in a girl group, you couldn't express that. So now you're expressing yourself and you're now reintroducing yourself to that fan base that you had once before. And you kind of got to give that fan base the room to see if they want to even go down that journey with you. And I think that's not even just a girl group thing, that's a group thing in the first place. Boy groups go through the exact same thing, if not worse. I think boy groups actually go through it worse. I think boy bands, when they break up, it's a little worse. Of course, One Direction had it a little better because One Direction was one of the biggest groups in a very long time. So it makes sense on why each group member somewhat has relevancy. But like, even down to that, which one we talk about the most to this day is Harry Styles. NSYNC, who do we talk about the most now? Even though other ones have music and has some singles that have done well, Justin Timberlake is still that girl. I don't think this conversation is just a girl group issue, than rather just a group situation in the music industry in the first place. So I don't know. I'm excited for everybody to express their individuality and to express their newcomings. And I'm excited to watch the journeys, to be honest. I support everybody. I'm very happy, besides Camila. I'm very happy, say that. I gotta be honest, girl. I gotta be honest, girl. You know, I gotta be honest. I'm very proud of all my girl group members that have come out and did something that is honestly so scary and so nerve-wracking, because you once had a platform that was so sturdy that now you have to stand on your own 2 feet. So I understand that it can be very scary, but I think that at least my Little Mix girls are doing a really good job at it. I'm really excited to see what else they're gonna release. I wish Fifth Harmony girls did more, honestly. I do feel like I don't know what that is about. I would love to know why the Fifth Harmony girls struggle more individually. I don't know what that's about. Because they don't have the same rally around like Little Mix girls. Like when Little Mix released stuff, one, the fan base that they do have rally for each girl. When Fifth Harmony drops solo stuff, people don't care about nobody besides Camila or Normani. And that's it. And Normani had to fight for that. Normani had to fight for that, for people to care about her. And still have to fight today. You know what I'm saying? And then Ali just said, girl, it's okay. Ali said, y'all don't care about me so much, I'm gonna retire. It's a chop. I'll take it. I'll take my royalty checks. If she gets them from Fifth Harmony, yikes, no shade. All right, Tiredness Army, I would love for you guys to let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this conversation. And do you think that people in musical groups can survive on their own once they go solo? Or do you think it's an inevitable kind of flop or downward slope from there? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know. All right, Tiredness Army, I love you bitches for picking up my call as always. And I'll be calling y'all back very, very soon. Bye, Army.